I am so excited to be talking with you guys today about how to make your money count, financial tips. It's tax season, as we know, and also how to invest in yourself and build your brand up from the bottom, okay? Dominique Broadway is a dope powerhouse woman. She's an award-winning financial planner, personal finance coach, speaker, finance expert, entrepreneur, and founder of Finances Demystified and the Social Money Tour. She has a strong passion for working with people of all ages, but she's a millennial like myself, to bring their dreams to reality. Dominique began working at major brokerage firms at just 21. Okay, that is a young girl boss right there. I see you, sis. Fast forward to today, Dominique has built a powerhouse brand and was also named one of the top financial advisors in the U.S. for millennials at the age of 28. Y'all are going to love Dominique. She's known for being highly favored to share her entrepreneur story, financial expertise, and words of wisdom. Dominique, I am so happy to have you with me here today, girl. Welcome to my world. Welcome to As the World Spins.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. It's so good to see you. You look great, girl. I mean, we in COVID, but you don't look like you've been working from home or anything like that. You like you've been out and about and getting to it.
I have. I'm definitely.
And also, before we get started, are you also expecting soon?
I am.
When are you due?
Yes. In August. So
Congratulations.
our second little one. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what it is, boy or girl?
I know, but I haven't shared it yet.
Oh, okay. Can I get the exclusive? No, I'm kidding. Now, really quick.
Follow me on IG.
Okay. Okay, because you know nowadays the baby reveals are such a big thing, and you're big on your brand and on social, so I know you probably got something dope set up.
Yeah, I do.
Now, Dominique, how did you get started in finance at such a young age? First of all, when did you fall in love with money?
Yeah, like early, probably like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, like really early. Because I realized, pretty early on that if you had your own money, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted to do, right? So remember when you were a kid and you would go into the store, your mom be like, look, we are here for two things or one thing. Don't touch anything. Don't look at anything. And I was like, well, if I had my own money, you wouldn't say that, right? So I realized that pretty early on. But fast forwarding to when I got a little bit older, I really fell in love with like trying to figure out how to make my money work for me and like making money in additional ways when I was like 16, right? So I started a bunch of businesses like when I was 8.
Hold on. You started a bunch of businesses. What kind of businesses?
Yeah. When I was like 8, I started my first business. I was just selling bracelets, right? I would borrow GIMP from camp.
Oh, I remember them days.
And I would make like boxes and barrels, turn them into bracelets, sell them. And my mom would take me to Michael's and I would get beads and sell bracelets. And then, like most kids in middle school, I sold gum, right? Because gum wasn't allowed. So I sold gum until I got caught. Sold candy, all those types of businesses.
Oh my God, a real life hustler, literally from the get-go.
Yeah, and I became like a chief, he was a chief operating officer of one of my friend's companies when I was like 15. And we taught kids how to use computers and computer software. That was before they were teaching it in school. So those were like some of the businesses I had. And then also in my teens, I co-founded a vending machine company with my father. So we have vending machines like all throughout the DMV area that's had like gum and like pistachios and M&Ms and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for a while.
Wow, that is super dope. And one thing that you're talking about that I don't think always happens in the Black and Brown community is financial education. Were your parents big advocates for that for you, especially as you start your businesses? Did they kind of push you in that direction?
Yeah, huge. My mom she started out as an accountant, but she went on to be an entrepreneur. So she was always an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur legally and illegally, illegally and then legally.
I love it.
Now that technically is legal, but anyway.
Keeping it real. That's what we do.
Yeah. And so they always just really, push me to have like multiple streams of income. Anytime I wanted to start something, they were always super supportive. So yeah. Yeah, but I think that's extremely important.
Okay, so at 21 years old, you made your mark in corporate America in the financial world. Can you talk a little bit about navigating that and then what inspired you to kind of break out and do your own thing?
Yeah, that's interesting. Before I graduated college, I went to Bowie State University.
Shout out Bowie, DMV.
Yeah, BSU. So I went to Bowie State, majored in banking and finance. Like I said, since I was like 16, I knew I wanted to be a stockbroker. So I ended up getting an internship at this awesome company, becoming a licensed financial planner, a stockbroker for high net worth individuals. Wow. I was like the only person that looked like me in this company, right? Working in New York.
That's
also
deep. How did you navigate that? Can we talk about that really quick? We got a lot of Black brothers and sisters on here, and it's not easy navigating.
It's not. It's really difficult, to be honest. I mean, I remember even, when I first came in as an intern, you're an intern, so it's like, whatever.
Right.
But the other students in the internship programs, one, they had never heard of historically Black colleges, which was interesting because I went to a historically Black college, right? Mm-hmm. So they had never heard of a historically Black college. And I remember even just sitting down and showing them like Bowie State's website, and they're like, it's a school for Black people. And I'm like,
oh, that
so I had to get the
sad.
whole history of like why that was even a thing. But I would say outside of that, even as I started to kind of grow along in the profession, people always automatically assumed that I was the secretary, right? And there's nothing wrong with being the secretary, but I was actually a licensed financial advisor and stockbroker, And so that was very frustrating. There's always, those kind of side comments and things you have to navigate, but I knew why I was there, right? And I knew God had a greater purpose for my life. I didn't know exactly what that was at the time. But I knew I was doing this because I was supposed to be doing something bigger, right? So I tell people all the time in these spaces, don't get so caught up in the day-to-day and the everyday mundane things that may be happening and the people that may just be ignorant, right? Kind of keep your eye, on the goal and what you're there for and what you can take from those experiences.
Yeah, and your purpose. One of my good friends always says, don't get so caught up in the process that you forget it's just a process, right?
Yes.
Wait, so what inspired you to now start in that financial world to start Demystified in the social money tour? How did that come about?
Yeah. So after before working at the firm, I bought my first house at 22 before I graduated college.
I mean, you shitting on all of us right now. 22? Wow. Yeah. That's like a Drake lyric right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did. I was just super ambitious, right? So I bought my first house at 22. Like I said, I knew I wanted to be in this investing space. And really knew that I needed to start building assets early. Mm-hmm. And so my friends were like, hold on, like, how did you go buy this house? And we all moved back home with our parents.
Right. Wait. And real quick, can you talk about that process? I think a lot of people forget that it's so easy to buy a house.
It is. It's like really easy. Really easy. So that's why when I used to work with clients, when I was, very transparent about how I bought the house, right? So I bought my condo in North Bethesda, Maryland. That's where I lived at the time. And I bought it through a first-time homebuyers program. So in Montgomery County, Maryland, they have a first-time homebuyers program called MPDU, which stands for Moderately Priced Dwelling Unit. So I was able to take advantage of this program because I was still considered lower income, right? Because I was still in school. I had my first job out of college. When my first job out of college, I only made like $42,000 like out of college, right?
Wow.
While I was studying for my licenses. And so because of that, I was considered lower income. I was able to buy my first condo for $167,500.
A blessing.
And those condos usually at the time, they were usually going for like $380, right? This is 1-bedroom, high rise, in North Bethesda, concierge, rooftop pool, the whole thing, right? I was able to use the moderately priced dwelling unit program, and then another program that they recommend that goes with it. I just can't remember what it's called. That program gave me my down payment, right? So I basically walked into the house. I think I may have put down a few $1,000s, maybe like $3,000 total.
Wow.
When I bought this house. And I owned it for 10 years. And then when I sold it, I walked away actually with a nice chunk of change. But that was literally how I bought my first house. So I took advantage of the situation that I was in, because even 2 years later, based on how my income had grown, I wouldn't have been eligible to be in that program. So that's why I tell people sometimes it's not about making tons and tons of money. You can capitalize based on the current financial situation you're in and look for programs and opportunities, right? To kind of leverage where you are in life, instead of feeling like, oh, I got to wait till I'm making 6 figures. Because at that time, if I was making 6 figures, I wouldn't have been eligible for that program. It actually would have been harder for me to purchase a home.
That's
right?
True.
That's one way. So I tell people all the time, if you identify a county, like I knew I wanted to live in that county, you could literally Google like Google's my best friend. Google, housing programs Montgomery County, housing programs PG County, housing programs Maryland, housing programs DC,
or wherever you are, right?
Yeah, or you can, for a national program, NACA is another great program, NACA. So it's not difficult to buy a house, but you also have to make sure, this is something that you want. It was good for what I wanted at that time, right? It was perfect. So you have to figure out, one, do you want to be in that city? Do you want to own, all those different factors? But if that's what you want to do, it's definitely not hard to buy.
Okay, so it's tax season, right? And I think people don't realize how much they can take advantage of doing more write-offs and taxes. What's the number one advice you would give to somebody of kind of taking advantage of tax season and getting those write-offs in?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few things you can do. I would say if you don't have a CPA or like a tax professional, like get one. Like it may cost you a little bit more, but a lot of times they know the tips and tricks that can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So sometimes us trying to do it on our own can cost us a little bit more, right? But I would say, if you are, an individual, a lot of times there's not tons of different ways you can take advantage of write-offs, unfortunately, but making sure that you're maxing out your 401k at work, or contributing to a Roth IRA or traditional IRA, making donations, right? So even when you're giving stuff away to Goodwill every year because you don't want those clothes anymore, you can write those off. But even business owners, right? So me being a business owner now, my whole game is just trying to keep as much money as I make. That's
all money in. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, it's different when you start hitting them the commas. Okay,
right.
I'll say that. But yeah, so now even for business owners, it's so much stuff we can write off, right? We can write off our houses, our offices, our travel, our food,
even our clothes.
Yes, you're like, for me, I write off my clothes. I do so many speaking engagements. I am the face of the company. So if I get my hair done, makeup done by Fits, that's all a part of the branding session, which is a part of marketing, right? So there's so many different ways that you can write things off. Buying cars, under your business, there's a lot of things you can do, but definitely speak to, a CPA or tax professional to see what's best for you. And don't just try to do it on your own, because they may be able to like literally save you hundreds or thousands of dollars.
I was about to say, you giving us all the keys right now, sis. I love it. At the end of the day, it takes money to make money, but you can keep all that money in if you work smart. I wish I could talk to you for longer because you are so great at what you do. But before and as we wrap things up, what's the number one financial tip or advice you would give to a young budding entrepreneur?
Good question. I would say, financial tip for a budding entrepreneur. I would say don't be scared to hire. Don't be scared to hire. I think that was one of the issues. I know that's something me and some of my other friends talk about as we hit this 7 figures and 8 figures, in our business. Is in the beginning we were so scared to hire, right? And even now with the higher amount of money we make, I'm realizing how silly that was, because if you could hire someone in their expertise to allow them to do what they do well, it will actually make your business grow a lot faster. So don't try to do everything, right? And don't be scared of hiring. Be comfortable with it, because it could literally be the thing that takes your business from 5 figures to 6 figures to 7 figures to 8 figures.
Wow, you are preaching, girl. I mean, yes, that hits home for sure. Definitely deep. And for all the young budding entrepreneurs out there, it takes a team, okay? It takes a team to make that dream come true. So that's some great advice. Dominique, where can people follow you and keep up with you, girl?
Yeah, definitely. So follow me just at Dominique Broadway. We have a bunch of free challenges coming up. I'm actually giving away thousands and thousands of dollars on Instagram and via some of our challenges.
Real cash money?
Cash. I'm giving out real cash. It's Financial Literacy Month. So we're going to be educating people, but I also, I've been very, very blessed this year. So I want to give away some money. So we're giving out money every single day. So make sure you're following on IG so you can register for the free challenge. Sign up for our free investing classes. We just trying to help people get to the bag, make money, and bring all their dreams to reality.
Yes. Dominique, thank you so much. You are so inspirational, sis. A young Black woman out here getting it. And guys, don't be afraid to hit her up, okay? Social media is very powerful at the end of the day. So definitely hit Dominique up. We're definitely going to have you back on here soon as well, because we always love to talk money and how to grow businesses and how to really achieve that ultimate freedom, which is financial freedom at the end of the day. So Dominique, thank you so much for stepping into my world, girl, and congratulations on your new baby. And we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.